O you who have Iman, Qisas has been made obligatory, has been ordained for you. In the case of murder, a free man will be executed for murdering a free man, a slave for a slave, and a woman for a woman. Whoever here forgives his brother, the murderer should demand the diyah, which kindness with kindness without harshness, and payment should be pleasant without delay and in full. This choice between qisas and diyah is a special consideration from your Rabb and a mercy, because the Jews were compelled to apply qisas when a murder was committed, and the Christians were compelled to accept diyah instead. So whoever oversteps the limits by killing the murderer after the murderer was forgiven, shall suffer a painful punishment by being executed in this world and punished in the akhirah. All right, so qisas means that if a person commits a murder, then the person who has murdered, the killer, has to be punished by execution. So it cannot be lifetime sentence. It cannot be any other type of punishment. The punishment for a killer is to be killed. So that person who has killed, he will be executed by the authorities, obviously. And another way is also that he can pay blood money if the victim's relatives, if the victim's relatives like parents or family agrees upon it, then he can pay blood money. And if he pays blood money, then he will be pardoned. uh, but this is the choice of the family of the victim. It cannot be enforced by the state. You cannot force the victim's family to accept the blood money, but uh, it is their. The killer will not be punished anymore then. When they accept the blood money, then that's over. So one of two things: first, either the killer will be punished by death, or if the victim's family accepts it, then they will accept the blood money, and then there will be no punishment anymore. Yeah. So the Jews had this custom that they would always execute. That there was no choice of blood money. And the Christians, they changed the religion, they changed the law, and in their religion, it was that they will only be accepting blood money. There will be no execution. But Islam brought the balance here, and Islam told us that no, you have two choices, and you can practice both, any of these. Yeah. So the concept of blood money is that enmity and hatred should be as minimal as possible in a society, because obviously, even if a killer has killed a person, an innocent soul, uh, if he is killed in return, obviously his family, the killer's family, will have some kind of resentment for the victim's family, and a kind of a feud can start. So, in order to avoid it, that kind of situation, blood money is there. However, qisas is also necessary, because many times there should be a deterring force. There should be fear for punishment in the hearts of the people, so that they should not commit the crime. So, in the Western societies, we can see many people who are sympathizing with the killer, who are sympathizing with the murderer. But the thing is that they understand this concept that no, if he has done anything wrong, if he has killed a person, in return he should not be killed, he should be pardoned. But the thing is that if he is pardoned, he can kill more, because he will be encouraged that the law is not going to punish me, so I can do whatever I want to do. So the thing is that you have to create a kind of deterrent in the society, that no, if you will do wrong, you will be punished for it. So you must not commit a crime, and you have to think 1,000 times before you take such a step. But blood money is there as a choice, because sometimes what happens is that sometimes a person accidentally kills a person. For example, if a person is driving a car and he was being careful, but still uh, accident happened, and as a result the other person was died as a result, then in that case, obviously, he will pay blood money, and the victim's family should be understanding that it was not intentional, it was unintentional. So in that case, he can save his life by paying blood money. So that is why this choice is there. And in similar situations, okay, so in tribal areas in Afghanistan and in Pakistan also, in the mountainous regions, people, they live in clans, and those clans have lifelong feuds. Like before Islam, the Arabs also, because they are also clan based people, they also have long feuds. Sometimes their battles would last for centuries. So for 100 years before, their great grandfather did something wrong, and because of that, battles and battles and battles have been going on. Same is the case with tribal areas. So in those areas, this kind of practice is very necessary in order to avoid more war, more battles. Blood money is a kind of mercy from Allah in that scenario. So there is wisdom in both of these things, in blood money as well as in qisas, diya and qisas. In both of these, there is wisdom in it. Or you, for you in qisas is great life, O people of intelligence, so that you have taqwa, so that you may fear the punishment for murder and abstain from it, and so that you enforce the law of qisas. It has been made obligatory for you to make a bequest in your will that is just, not more than one third of your wealth, in favor of your parents and close relatives when the signs of death appears before any of you and you are leaving wealth behind. This law is a duty upon those who have fear for Allah. The law was revealed because people used to make bequests for the rich and leave nothing for their parents and relatives. However, this compulsion was later cancelled when Allah revealed the laws that fixed the shares that parents and close relatives receive from the wealth of a dead person. Although a person should not make a bequest for an heir, if he does bequest less than a third for an heir, it will be given to the heir only if all the other heirs permit it after the person's death. So whoever changes it, the will, after hearing it, then the sin of changing the will rests solely upon those who change it. Verily, Allah is all hearing, all knowing. Allah hears the will that is made, knows about the changes made to it, and knows the intentions of those who make the changes. Okay, these verses are related to inheritance, the law of inheritance, and we can only understand the true meaning and the in-depth practicality of these verses only through scholars who understand these things. And there is a lot of detail, and many um, books of law have been written throughout the centuries in regards to these details. And it is not a simple matter, it's a complicated one, and only the scholars know the details. Whoever fears any favoritism or sin from the person making the will, such as a bequest that exceeds one third or any other error in the will, and then makes peace, reaches a settlement between them, between the one making the will and the others involved. Upon him is no sin, in fact, it is preferable for him to intervene. Verily, Allah is most forgiving, most merciful.